Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to attend the live stream and automatically attend the after party. Pardon me. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, SMF. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I will do my best to make that part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so please be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. Now, if you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on his platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a like. That's a thumbs up. Subscribe and share the videos, and comments also help the analytics of the channel. Now, regarding comments, if any comments for me, I would encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's all the letters spelled out, Flying Control Line Stunt, and comment on the YouTube video of the AMA US Nationals, and it'd be a chance for you to see that I can fly as well as host these events. But if you do that, I will get a notification, because I'm only in Sparky's channel only twice a week. So I do another thing throughout the week. So if you want to get back to me or have a suggestion for the show or comment, please do it there, and I will get a notification and I'll be able to check it out. Now, I want you to also consider joining Sparky's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. I mean, that's incredible value for what you're getting. And then your support will help offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges in the YouTube channel. I'll see, and Sparky can see when he's doing his shows. So you can see the members, and you get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is like a big dollar sign located at the bottom of the chat box, to make donations. Now, you must be in a live stream. You can't make a donation during a replay. It's just during the live stream. So like I said, every Monday and Friday, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, come in during the show and then back out, and then maybe watch the replay so you can watch the whole show at a more convenient time for yourself. I also want to encourage you guys to keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't do around your children and children or grandchildren. And plus, I want to encourage everybody to let's talk about model airplanes. I know sometimes the show gets long and maybe we want to go into other areas, but this is for model airplanes. So let's stay on point. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link. I'm going to look to another monitor, and that's what I'm doing now. Let me post the link to Stunthangar. So you'll see the link there now. It has today's date. Come on in for some fun and some laughs and some great information. And I look forward to seeing you inside here. So hopefully that happens very soon. I'm going to turn my attention to Sparky's channel and go to the what I call the control panel. I see there's a couple people there already. Let me get there and see how many viewers we have. Just bear with me for a second. There are quite a few clicks to get into the swing of things. All right, so I'm coming into the control panel. I see, oh, Alex the Third. He says, good evening, Charles, and all viewers. Greetings from Scotland. Hey, Alex the Third. I have not seen, not the third, but Alex Third. Pardon me, Alex. Alex, I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome back. And Mike Rigel, he says, hello, Charles and everyone. Thank you, and greetings to you too. Appreciate you guys coming in. So we have 8 concurrent viewers. We have 5 likes. So if you have not hit the like button, please do that. That helps the channel analytics and helps us get to the point where we might be a recommended watch or view on someone's home feed when they go into YouTube. And Tom Ramos says, all of the electronic components of the TUT HR timers have been ordered. Some have long lead times. I have a lot of money tied up in order to help those of you that want one of these boards. Yeah, so we have an opportunity through Tom Ramos. He's going to be putting together these TUT HR. I forgot what the acronym stands for. I know the HR is Howard Rush, and the other one I think is Timothy, or I think. But anyways, this is a device you would hook up to your electric airplane, and it would help you have a nice, well, actually, here comes Tom now. He can explain it better than me. He'll be in shortly. So, hey, Tom.
Hey, Charles.
How are you doing?
Good.
All right, well, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So you want to explain about the TUT HR?
Yeah, so TUT is an electronic timer for control line airplanes. And it was designed by Tim Westcott, and Howard Rush also had input into the specification to build this. Tim is really busy right now, so he couldn't build any more of these. And so I was asked to take over the assembly of these. So not sure that was the smartest thing on my part, but anyway, I am doing it for the benefit of those that want them, and it's becoming kind of a labor of love for me.
Yeah, a lot of things are in this hobby. I know who started, but someone said if you want to make $1 million in this hobby, start off with 2.
Yeah. So I've already got between $500 and $600 invested in parts. All the components are ordered now. There are some parts that have long lead times, so it's going to be a while before I can have finished product ready to sell. But I don't know if some of the guys that really want these could prepay, it would be very helpful, because right now I'm investing all this money, and it's going to be a while before I actually am able to sell them. And at this point, I feel like I'm going to be lucky if I break even on this deal. So anyway, so the TUT, it's TUT-HR, because Howard Rush, TUT stands for Tim's Universal Timer. -HR is Howard Rush, his input into the specification. And what it does is it has 2 modes, an AMA mode and an FAI mode. And so what you can do is you can set it up. There are parameters that can be set into the timer so that after a certain amount of time, it starts to look for that loop at the end, which is a cutoff loop, and that starts a cutoff sequence to for the plane to land. And because this timer has a gyro built into it, it can tell when you do that cutoff loop, it can tell certain things about the positioning in the loop. And also, along with Howard's Vicus unit, it can his unit has LEDs that can display the status of what's going on. So it's kind of a unique system. So there are a few people that have expressed interest in wanting to buy some. So Tim Westcott is allowing me to build these units for whoever is interested in them. There's the initial cost that I'm starting out with is $75. I think Tim was selling them for $100. At least that's what it's advertised on the Stunthangar website. So I do have a posting on Tim's, Tim has a posting on Stunthangar, and I added a little paragraph in there that has my information if people want to get a hold of me.
Alrighty.
Otherwise, if you aren't a member of Stunthangar, I have a YouTube channel, TOM space RAMMEL. And if you comment on the YouTube channel, I'll see that also.
So are you taking PayPal or Google Pay or
right now I'm just, I have one person that sent me a check just in the mail to my address, which works fine. I should probably look into some of those other electronic ways of transferring money, but I haven't done that yet. So
I think
I've been busy trying to find sources for parts, and you can't get them all from one place. There are places that have some of them, and then you end up paying shipping and postage and tax and everything from every place you get parts from. It's kind of it's a lot of work right now because of the chip shortage.
Right. Well, that's wonderful. That's fantastic. Let me say hi to Brendan. Thanks for coming in, Brendan. I see you're working on a bike. And John Miller, thanks for coming in, John.
Yeah, I'm back at working at the Bioslav again. We took it out and gave it a shot, and I came back in on Angstrom and bit the dust, tore up the fuselage pretty good here. But I don't know. I think last time I was talking with you all, we were troubleshooting some Bioslav stuff, and I don't know. We went out and I found out. I guess I talked to John Paris. And I had asked about lap speed on these, and we talked about not getting lap speed because you try to keep it downwind. But with our flying, I asked John kind of after we crashed, I asked him to go out and fly it on a calm day to figure out what his lap speed was, so we can try to shoot for that on a calm day, so we then have a sense of what we need to do on a windy day. And so I found out one thing. John told us that he flies on 50-foot lines. We were flying on 60. He made it sound like 50 is kind of standard for folks. So I don't know if that's true or not, but we were flying on 60s, and then again, it blew in at us. So got to repair and hopefully get in the air again, but didn't go so well last time out.
Yeah, I've only watched Bislavs fly. I've never flown one, so I wish I could help. Anybody else here flown a Bislav before? I can maybe give Brendan, some suggestions or anything? All right.
No bites slobbers here. That's
No, we just like watching them. They're entertaining. It's like they're they fly on their prop, and it's amazing what they can do. I enjoy watching them. It didn't really intrigue me to want to get one, but I still enjoy watching them. Anytime I get a chance to watch one, I'd like to watch it. I have a comment for you, Tom, by Mike Regal. He says, "Does the TUT HR replace the ESC? I'd like to know more about them. I plan on building a couple of electric profile models."
Okay, so it does not replace the ESC, it replaces the timer. So you can it can either replace the timer, or you can use it in conjunction with another timer. If you use it in conjunction with another timer, it passes the signal through for most of the flight until those certain times take over with the TUT timer. So I hope that's understandable. It's kind of hard to just explain it by, I mean, you almost have to look at the manual and kind of read through how it works and stuff. So
physically, is it the same size? I have an HR timer. I haven't installed it yet. I haven't even built the plane yet. So is it the same size as the HR timer, or is it bigger?
It's just, I don't know how big the HR timer is. This timer is just over, it's like 1.2 inches by 1.2 inches.
Okay, I'm a KR timer. That sounds about the same size.
It's pretty small, but it has a lot of capability. So I think most timers would not have a gyro built in. This has a 3-axis gyro built in.
Oh, very cool. Because I'm probably going to be interested myself, because I'm looking more and more to start to build the SV11 electric that I have. Hey, Lynn, how's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. And hey,
Good.
Mike, thanks for coming in, Mike.
Good to see you all.
And let's see, Mark
Good to
Lumen.
see you all.
Mark Lumen says, like selected. Thank you, Mark. And I see you have no problem coming in with me. I know I was watching a show, Sparky, yesterday, and I guess he had to unmute you or something. So I'm glad that you have no problem getting in on here with us, Mark. So thanks for coming in. So Lynn, have you been flying? I saw something about they opened up Canada. Is that?
I didn't see. I hadn't heard anything about that. If maybe I missed something.
I saw a thumbnail. It might not really have been the truth.
Okay. I've been working all week, so I haven't paid too much attention to anything.
Okay.
Well,
So you haven't done any flying this week?
I flew tonight. I got a couple of flights just before dark. Naomi got a flight, and I got a couple of flights, and that was it. It was dark because I didn't finish work till 6, and it was dark by 8 o'clock.
Very good.
Came home, had a really quick dinner, straight to the field. Naomi flew her Coroplast Ringmaster. What we do with that is we just start it and launch it inverted, and she flies the whole flight inverted.
Oh, great.
So
Great.
it works good. Tonight she did the whole flight inverted by herself, so that was all good.
Oh, that is great. I remember the first time I heard that was with Steve
Yeah.
Hines and his daughter Samantha.
Yeah.
Where he just launched it inverted and she just flew it that way. And
Yeah, and that's a good way to do it, because then they don't have to get it there to start with and try to get it back. We just launch it inverted and fly away.
yeah, I have a couple of guys I fly with today, and they would like to fly inverted, but like you said, it's just getting there is a challenge.
Getting there is a problem. You sort of have to hold the handle for them, get it inverted, and then hand it to them and sort of hold on at the same time.
Yeah.
But what I've been doing with Naomi is I get her inverted on a normal airplane, and we're both holding on. And what I do is we fly it inverted. She's holding on. I'm holding on the bar on the front of the handle, and she's holding on the handle part. And then what I tell her is I just say, anytime the airplane starts to get too low, tickle the down. Just keep tickling the down, give it a little down if it starts to get too low. And eventually after, 5 or 6 or 7 flights, it got to the point where she was like, yeah, I can do this. And then every time she'd just fly level. And if it got too low, she'd just keep give it a little bit of down, give it a little bit of down. And if it got too high, well, then just give it a little bit of up, but not too much to get it back down low again. She's gotten used to it.
Very good. Yeah, I like telling new people to say the whole time like an anthem. Down is up, down is up, down is up, down is up. And even incorporate turning their wrists so they have a physical reminder that they're inverted, and they say,
whoops, we froze up. Everybody else is here, but you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
All the other guys are
See
here. and
John.
Charles froze up. I don't see John.
I'm right above you.
Oh, there you go. All right. All he had to do was speak.
Yeah.
Hey, I got something in the mail on Monday.
Oh, I'm
Thank you.
glad to hear. Good stuff.
I went down and had it scanned in full size. So
Perfect.
I've got it set up to show and tell here in a little bit. The plan.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was full size.
Yeah, it was, but I scanned it in full size too.
Oh, I see on here. I get you. Okay, I didn't know what you were
Yeah.
talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
The
awesome.
whole idea was, and I need to talk to Steve about it. Steve is an outstanding draftsman. He does all his work by hand.
Okay,
But unfortunately, what that does is kind of puts him at a little bit of a true scratch builder doesn't bother. But a lot of guys want to be able to order some laser cut parts.
right.
You can't do that unless the CAD drawing's been made of it.
Okay,
Okay, so I was going to trace it off and set it up as a CAD drawing, but basically just make the parts file available to people
right.
for his because his drawing is such an outstanding case of hand drafting. It's one of the best
Sure.
I've ever seen,
Very good.
Yeah. So, and he doesn't care much for CAD because what he's seen, most of the guys he's seen are guys that, they just taught themselves and they don't know how to set up line weights and stuff like that. So anyway,
Right. Okay. Awesome.
so whenever you guys are ready, I'll go ahead and bring it up, share it.
yeah, there's we got 8 people, so go ahead and
Go
and
to it.
share away. I already fixed the share settings, so you should be able to do it. Hey, Mark, and hey, Gary, thanks for coming in, you two.
Yeah. I'm here.
You know,
Hey, Gary, Mark.
Hey, buddy.
Does it come up yet?
there
Here it is.
That was
There
Kevin.
we
There
go.
you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, still a nice looking
Wow.
airplane.
It is a very nice looking airplane. And like I say, you can see the quality of Steve Busso's. Steve Busso is what they call he's not an architect, but he does civic. It's got a name for it.
Civil
Basically,
engineer.
Civil engineering. Civil engineering. He does civil engineering drawings, and he's very good at it. Like I say, and you can see it in his drawings. I'll close in here a little bit on it.
Yeah, you
See
can
how clear that is, even there.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
very nice.
Very nice.
You can see how good a draftsman he is.
Yeah, it almost looks like looking at a wooden drawing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his he used a lettering set to do the lettering. It's all perfect. He does a beautiful job,
oh, wow. He
Now,
does
a good CAD
decent
drawing
work.
can do it as well, but you won't have these, I don't like to use these grain markings anyway. I think they're, I personally don't believe that. I'll just put a little thing and say grain and give the grain.
And an arrow. Yeah, I understand that. That makes sense to me.
Because I think it can, it just, I don't know. There's, you know, some people love it, some people don't. I don't. Doesn't mean I can't do it. It just, we're not.
Show the wing again,
Okay,
the,
so-
the spar. I want to see the spar.
Okay, hold on a minute. Notice here how he keeps it pretty wide through here so you can get in there and actually work on that elevator adjuster. See that there?
And an optional hatch too. So
Yeah, that's pretty darn cool idea.
Yeah, see, Paul
Yes,
Walker
it-
does that with his designs too. Like his fuselage is sort of, I don't know if it's, maybe it's not, I may have the wrong guy. Hang on. Yeah, that may not be true. I'd have to look at the drawing he did again of his original impact, but I think it was fairly wide at the back. And I think that's part of the reason why, is so that you can get into the horn easily and it's easy to hook it up and unhook it.
Uh-huh.
When you get a really narrow
Well, here's the
fuselage, it's
wing, you
very
know,
hard.
and it's well, it's very almost impossible.
Yeah,
Here's your you can see here's your spars. See,
Right.
I like on mine, I like to make them 3/8 by 1/8, and I lay them flat. So the section modulus is as far out as it can go. So it gets the most strength out of it. A lot of guys think that you'll get more strength by making it 1/8 inch wide by 3/8 inch deep, but that's the section modulus is like, imagine threads going through the material. And so with 1/8, you don't have as many threads as you do if it's laid on its side. So you got 3/8.
right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think, you know, I'm looking at this, if I build it, and I very, very well, I will probably thin down the fuselage though, because I would make it electric.
Right.
And I don't need this much for a pipe underneath there.
Yeah, you don't need, yeah, I see what you mean. Mind you, though,
Yeah,
the airplane may fly a little different because you don't have the volume of area in the fuselage.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I have to consider.
I mean, you might want to slim it down a hair, but I wouldn't go too far with that because then you're kind of changing the whole design.
Well, see here where the bottom of this line is here.
Yeah,
That'd be the extent. I would just make this piece here not
Right.
so deep, right? From that line to this line here.
yeah.
you know.
Maybe follow the line along where he's got it at the top of the pipe tunnel.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
would probably, in that way, it wouldn't change the look of the airplane too much. It would
Well,
still
and
have that same look.
one thing though I like about it is that if I made it like this, there's no room to put the battery dead under the CG.
That's true.
And then there's plenty of room to move it forward. And I
Yeah.
doubt that you need to move it back.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
So that's something to think about. Anyway, so there is what the Vegas looks like for those that didn't get a chance to see it. And Steve Busso used to, at one time, was president of Pampa. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the Pampa Wars, he just threw his hands up and walked away because he was,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a shame.
and he pretty well closed down his. I mean, he still flies, I think, but he isn't as active as he was at one time, which is a shame.
For sure.
Anyway, so that's it. Any questions before I shut it down?
Yeah, how big is the wingspan? I didn't quite see the.
Oh, okay. Let me get down here. We'll look at the bottom box. Okay.
And how long is the fuselage too?
Okay, it's all in the bottom box here. There you go. Everything you want to know.
Yeah.
It's 564 square inches So it's
Span equal.
a 35 to 40 size airplane. It's designed for a 40, like a 40 FSR at the time, and it had the pipe set up that went from the side mount and back in and to a rear mount for the pipe. I think Smith still sells those adapters, but he's got the aspect ratio there, the flap area and the tail area and percentages of it. A lot of good information in that box. Okay,
Right on.
All right.
any other questions?
Hey, on the tip and root, I lost the.
That's I shut it out. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The tip and root template, are those used as kind of like a jig while you're building?
No, it was designed and is shown with a foam core wing. And
Okay.
But he also laid it out
Gotcha.
to build it with ribs.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
So if the foam core templates are there, aren't they, John, on the plan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they were
right,
at the top.
Yeah,
right up
yeah,
at the
I
top.
thought they were, yeah. So that would probably be the easiest way to do it, is to just have somebody, either you cut a foam core or get somebody to cut you a foam core.
It's got a nice airfoil. It's got a good radius on the entry. It's not like a NAC 4-digit. It's more like a NA6 style or an Epler and that gives you better penetration in the wind.
Yeah.
But it still has a decent high point. I don't think the wing needs to be that thick for electric, but it certainly needs it for like an FSR on a pipe, because you got a lot of power there and you need some help holding that power back.
I know for me, the easiest way to do that airplane what I would personally do, because I don't cut foam core wings, and if I really wanted one and I wanted it in a hurry, I would cut the templates out for the wing and I would send them off to Tom Dixon, and I'm sure he would be able to send me a wing back pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of guys out there.
Yeah, lots of guys out there doing that. You know, I know Bob Hunt used to, but he isn't anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't even cut them out. I'd just take it over to my copy machine and make a copy of them on 8.5 by 11 paper and send it to them.
Yeah, exactly. And just give him the wingspan and the area and so forth, or a drawing of it, and away he goes.
There you go. You know, that's why foam wings are so popular. They're quick and easy.
Most definitely. And then you don't have to deal with trying to get the wing straight. All you're doing is gluing the wing together and building a fuse and tails, and you're off to the races.
You don't have warps. And if you notice, if you notice, I don't know, I'm looking at it, but I know you guys can't see it, but it shows two gear mountings. One gear coming out,
either one. Yeah.
Out of the wing, and the other plug in the fuselage.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'd be interested in plugging in the fuselage, because that's
so would I.
Easier, yeah.
Yeah, it's the fuselage gear is so much. I mean, it can be a problem with the pipe, but it looks like he's got it so that it's up high enough that it doesn't have any effect on the pipe.
Yeah, it's mounted above the pipe.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it really simple for that too.
And it's plug-ins. You know, it plugs in, and apparently you can screw it in, some screws in from below, you know, and then put the pipe back in, and now your gear's secure.
I like simple competitive airplanes.
Yeah, and I think this would be quite good. The nose reminds me so much of Bob Hunt's, what was that bronze one they had?
Many of them, the Genesis, the Saturn.
The Saturn. The nose reminds me of the Saturn a lot.
Yes, it does.
But, you know, he's got his own things going on in here too. Anyway,
sure.
Another designer that you don't see too much of his work lately, but he was and is very good at what he what he does.
I really
You would
like his color schemes. His paints schemes look fantastic. They were
Just
awesome.
wild.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Especially that Zap model. That was really wild.
yeah, it was.
I have
So
I have a couple of questions in the chat box, John.
okay. Do I need to put it back up again? I can do that.
I don't think so. Michael Gill says, what's the name of that? Vega or Vegas?
Vegas, like Las Vegas, just Vegas.
Vegas. Okay. And then Michael Gill goes, what's the wingspan and what engine size? The wingspan was 53 inches.
Yeah,
And the engine in the drawing was a 40, right?
Yeah, actually,
type 40.
It's actually a
FSR
Kingsbury
was
Ford.
FSR 40.
So now you mentioned that Smith used to sell the header to make it go to a
Yeah.
pipe. Okay.
Yeah, I think he still sells it. Still has it in his line.
And then Tryan, he says Busso balanced the fuse area above and below the CG.
Yeah,
That was a comment from Tryan. And then Mike Regal says, does it really need a tuned pipe?
well, no.
Not necessarily, no. You can build it regular, and probably an LA 46 would be a perfect motor for it.
Yeah,
That's what I would put in it.
yeah, I would. Hi, Denny. I would be tended to want to put like a Stalker 51 in it.
That would be good too. That would be outstanding, actually. Good comment, John. Outstanding motor for that airplane.
Yeah.
By the way, let me say hi to Carl. Thanks for coming in, Carl. And Dennis just came in. Thank you, Denny. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Denny, did you get to see the Vega?
What?
I just showed the plans for Steve Busso's Vegas. Did you get to see it?
No, I've seen it before.
Oh, okay. That's what we were talking about. So
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with you, Les or Len. I think the Stalker 51 would be absolutely,
Outstanding.
yeah. I mean, I fly that big.
It sure wouldn't have to work very hard.
No, I fly that big Pathfinder LE on a super Stalker 51.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's got a buy slot on.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we crashed it this past
That's common
week. Yeah.
until you get used to it.
Crash.
It's been through it before. I think I've mentioned it before, Lynn. I'm pretty sure you gave this to Angstrom at Brodax like 3 years ago, and he's been loving it.
I'm impressed that you were able to get it back together that well. It was in
Yeah.
pretty rough shape.
It was in rough shape, and yeah, I got it back together, but we're still trying to figure out how to appropriately fly it. I was mentioning earlier, John Paris gave me some tips after we crashed it again. But what length of lines do you usually fly it on?
About 60. About 60 feet.
Okay, well, that's what we were flying on, but
Okay.
John suggested flying it on 50s. I don't know if there's one advantage over the other with this type of thing.
Well, you can try it. I mean, you can try it on 52 or something like that and see how it goes. See if it seems any better. I mean, it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Depends on the setup of the airplane. I know I fly mine generally on 60 feet. Not heavy 60 feet. So I would recommend 15 thou, not 18 thou.
We're in a new age now.
You go ahead. Yeah, Spectra works good too.
Yeah, they'd be nice and slippery, which I think would work great on something like that.
For sure. I've been using my Spectra lines all summer. I have a set of 60 footers and I use them on all my sport models and I'm liking it.
Well, it looks like our contest board has officially approved the line change, which basically took away all of our line size and material requirements. And basically we need to pass a 10G full test, just like international rules.
That's awesome.
That's
Good
good
stuff.
news.
That
That is
is, I'm real
outstanding.
excited about that.
That's really, really good.
That's going to be an enabler for certainly for things like Spectra, but it's also an enabler for those 4-strand Russian lines that people have been trying to great with success, but they did
Okay.
not get the letter of the rule as it was written.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, if the airplane withstands the pull test, they should be able to fly it on anything. It doesn't matter. If it, you know, it's either strong enough or it's not. That's simple.
Well, that's it. There's no competitive advantage to be gained by flying on weak lines. All right.
None.
None
None.
whatsoever. At the very least, even if they don't break, they stretch. And
Exactly, and it makes flying, and especially in precision aerobatics, it makes precision flying impossible if they're stretching.
Yep, they sure do. So,
I mean, there's a reason why we all use hard point handles and lines that don't stretch.
yep.
You guys, I have one more question from the chat box. This is regarding the Vegas. Where are the plans available?
That's a good question.
I
don't know
think
the
I think
answer
John
to
went
that.
for a pizza.
I thought they were available through Pampa Plans,
They may be, I don't know.
but I'm not sure exactly what the status of that is.
Like I sent the plan to John, but I'm not sending it to anybody else because of once I found out what it costs to send a plan from here to John's, I just about hit the floor.
Goodness.
But you need to send PDF
So
file.
I'm not sending them all over America. I'll be broke and need a second mortgage.
That's it. Well, you do it out of the goodness of your heart, and
I did. I sent it to John. I'd send John almost anything, but yeah.
yeah,
Good, yeah.
Vegas, to be listed under Pampa Plans. So I guess I just don't know what the status of that is.
The Pampa plans, I don't either.
Might be a question to Dave Tribble here.
I know at
Are-
one point he was talking about getting all those things back up on the website. I know they kind of fell off over the past years or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was all of Steve Busso's plans on Pampa,
No, just that one.
the Vegas?
Were available from Flying Models. He had some designs published there, and wherever they were published, that's who had them. I think the Vegas was one that must have gone through Pampa. So yeah, I'm looking at the copy I'm looking at here. Len, do you remember where you got yours?
I'm trying to think of where I got mine. It was so long ago. I can't remember. It was
Yeah.
a long time ago that I got mine.
I got a couple, I thought, from Stunt News.
Yeah. Looks like it's got the Pampa logo here on the bottom right corner. All that, is that the same as the one you showed, John?
Yeah,
So
Most of the plans I got from people giving them away.
mhm.
There have been very few plans that I've actually bought. I mean, I bought some, but not a huge number.
Oh, wait a minute, Len, that makes you sound like a cheapskate.
No, I am. Just like
Ah,
everybody else in control line, but no, I'm only
You
kidding.
don't sound apologetic at all. So
I'm not a cheapskate when I really want something in control line. I'm willing to ante up to the table. If I want a real motor or a real plan for something, I have no problem chipping out the money for it.
that's why you got to be a cheapskate all the other times. So you
That's
can't
right.
for the premium.
Yeah, that way when you want a PA 75 or you want something that has some serious dollar attachment to it, you're able to do these things.
That's right.
Or when your wife wants 2 new kits.
Yeah. I sprung for 2 kits today from Rodak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one was for me and one was for I owed Riley for some work he did for you. He made a paint stand for me, and I've been trying to get him paid. And I got an email from him today, and he said, "Well, PayPal is out for him." And he said, "Well, how about a trade?" He said, "I've been wanting the Brodak Cub, you know, the 15 size version of
Easty Nobler, yeah.
Easty Nobler." And I said, "I can do this." So when it called it, looked so cute sitting there on the page. I drew the plans for it, and I was thinking about getting one when I drew the plans. So I bought one for him and one for me.
There you go. Perfect.
And according to Jeff, the Cub is more closely suited to be used with the Brodak 15. I don't know if Denny has done an electric conversion for it or not.
It's been on the list. I haven't really pushed it real hard because I just didn't know how many people were interested in it or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, if I can find it, I got a brand new Brodak 15. It'd be real nice on it. Got one of your dad's mufflers for it. You know.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can't find it, I'd be interested in putting an electric on it.
Yeah.
Might talk to your brother about having him make one of these for a 15 size, you know?
Sure can.
Yeah. That makes the engine mount up real easy, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know what it does about, well, I don't think it makes I like the way you do the battery mount, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That side entry, I like that a lot. It isn't going to fall out.
That's a good thing.
It is, you know, because pieces fall off your airplane. They not only take points off, but they I was going to say shit can. They can your entire flight.
Yep.
EQ.
Yeah, you never want stuff falling off your airplane during the flight.
You know,
No, especially not things that weigh a half a pound or a quarter pound or something like that.
Yeah, the battery comes out, it's a problem. It's like you might as well have the whole motor and everything come out.
Yeah, there's no
You know-
nice way. Yeah, there's no nice way for the battery to fall out. So
No.
that twin flight streak, I fought that, trying to get the engines to cut off at the same time and all that. And I was down at Sepulveda at a contest there, and we got it going, and Gordon got in there and tuned that thing up really good. I did the best flight I ever did on that airplane. That thing was just, and it flies and does very nice pattern. And so I got done, and I bring it in for a landing, you know, and I come in and I heard this odd scraping sound when I was coming in my rollout. But it rolled out, come to stop. Here comes Tim Meeks, who he since passed away, but Tim Meeks is a friend of mine. Comes up from behind the judge, he comes up holding one of my wheels.
Ah,
Oh, man.
Yeah. So there went a good
explains the
score.
noisemaker, huh?
That was the noisemaker.
yeah, John, I have a comment from Marcel Legrand. He says, "Hi, John.
I'm Marcel.
What did you think of my stack of balsa?
Oh man, you should have enough.
3 pound. What?
You should have enough to build a biplane now.
Now, did he show you a picture of that?
Yes, he did. You want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh, this is going to make you feel bad.
Hey,
I'll get it up.
Sparky didn't.
Now you're killing all of
I'm
us.
surprised Sparky didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Commandeer the shipment.
Well, he'd have to go to New Zealand to get it.
Good luck.
I'll have it up here in a minute.
All right.
Gary, you can't hide the fact you're eating from me. You can try.
I wanted to hear it.
So are you eating popcorn, Gary?
No, I mean chips.
Chips? Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Danny? You eating popcorn?
Pretzels.
Pretzels. Okay.
Pretzels.
Okay, it should be coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Cash.
That's a bunch of.
That's not all of it.
I'll bet not. Wow.
Well, I really like what he's done with that other pile of balsa wood there that's all red and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks pretty sharp.
That's actually a twin too. He just doesn't have the pods on it yet.
Yep.
That
Pretty
looks
sharp.
good. Doesn't it though? He's built that in about a month.
I hate guys who can build beautiful airplanes quick.
Look at this. This is still balsa.
It's a nice looking balsa. Hopefully it's light.
Avotech?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Okay, there's one picture. Oops. There's
Got those
back-
4-inch, half-inch. Yeah. Wow.
Trifling.
He said he bought $1,500 New Zealand of balsa wood from somebody that didn't know what he had.
Come on.
Wheel.
All contest grade.
Oh,
Wow.
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 Oh,
Now
wow.
you're killing me, man.
What is that equivalent to, in US dollars?
Yeah, me too. I don't know what New Zealand to US trade is. Well, so my internet
Gerald, if
connection.
you're listening, Gerald, let us know what that be equivalent to in US dollars.
That's cool.
Guessing probably under 1,000.
So yeah, he scored some good balsa. And like I said, Mark, you got enough balsa now to build the biplane. Maybe two.
Well, it
Well,
sounds
that's-
like he'll be
Bet
built
you
the
Sparky'd
biplane a
like
little
to have
faster
some
than
of
you.
that.
Yeah, he'll build a biplane faster than I can draw the changes.
But there's a lot of people would love to have some of that.
Well, just right here is a good indicator.
Oh, here comes Dave Tribble for I think the first time, I think.
Well, who was it?
All
Oh,
right.
and Mike Lodkey that made a score like that too.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got more.
yes. Ooh, yes.
He's got a lot of balsa, that boy, I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, he made a big score there.
He's got a lot of stuff, period.
Well, he concentrated on what he does.
That's right.
He wants to.
He moves stuff around to get the stuff that he wants and gets the other stuff out of the way. And I understand that. It makes
Well,
good
yeah,
sense.
He'll go in and somebody's got an estate sale. He'll go in and buy the whole thing. Pull out
That's
what
right.
he
And then,
wants.
then he gets rid of what he doesn't want and keeps what he needs. Exactly. I
Right.
understand that.
He's always got a side gig going on, a side deal.
Exactly.
Joe Mata, he's saying that purchase was $2,130 in US dollars.
Whoa. That's a
That
lot
don't
of
sound
balsa.
right. I
Wow.
think the New Zealand's less than ours. I know Australia is.
Wow.
Well, there's less New Zealanders in the country, so maybe they got more dollars per capita.
A lot of
I don't know
money.
if I ever shared this with you guys, but I was talking to a mutual friend of some of us, Kirk Mullinex, before he passed away, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I was talking to him and he was saying, Charles, I think I have one more plane in me. I'm going to build Bob Whiteley's Derringer, I think it was. And
Yeah.
and he goes, Charles, after I finish, I'm going to pull enough wood for the Derringer, and then you can have the rest of it. And I tried to act cool about it. I wasn't going to act desperate, and I didn't know how serious his leg situation was, and then he passed away a couple weeks ago. I mean, a couple weeks later, but I was like, wow, I mean, hindsight's 2020. I mean, I hate the fact I'd rather have Kirk here than the Balsa would, but once Kirk passed away, then I think Bob Wiley was gonna go help Kirk's daughter kind of situate things, and then RJ passed away.
Yeah.
So all that wood, which was earmarked for me, I don't know where it's at, and I don't have the nerve to even ask for it.
Right.
No, but it was. He told me it was good wood, Charles.
I don't doubt that in the least.
Because I got a lot of really good wood.
Kurt was a class act, and he didn't buy junk.
Yeah, so I was like, oh,
But I
damn.
don't know what happened. It's like, he probably didn't write it down. If he'd written it down, that would have been the one thing you probably would have got it.
Yeah,
As it was, if it wasn't written down, things happen so fast. It probably got spread out about amongst those who would be willing to pay for it. The money went to his daughter.
yo, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best thing. Help his daughter out.
Yeah, I
Hey.
know. Hi, Mike.
Monkey came in. Hey, Dave Tripp, I see your name. So I want to say hi to you, Dave. Maybe you don't have a camera. Thanks for
We got
coming.
Jared West in here. He's a scale flyer.
My ears were burning there, man. I heard John Miller and Len talking about me, about my hustling and my.
Well, yeah, we respect
Dash.
you. We respect it.
Turn my
Yeah.
damn camera on here.
Hey, Phil. Thanks for coming in, Phil.
You can tell I'm not at home. I'm in a hotel room because Sam and I just got to St. Louis. We up and decided to drive to St. Louis for the stunt contest this weekend. We
Oh,
just got here.
Cool deal.
Outstanding.
Great, man.
Yeah, we got.
I'm trying to.
They're
I'm trying to figure out
flying a bunch of scale events tomorrow, old time, classic, N30, and profile, and then Pampa on Sunday. So we just, I looked at it on the map and it said it was like 4.5 hours from Nashville to St. Louis. So I booked a room and we jumped in the car and came.
There's Dave.
Sounds like a
Tribble.
win.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for coming in. I see you got your camera working.
Guys,
Welcome to the Stunthangar video hangout.
well,
Here's
thank you.
talking about you, Dave.
Yeah, Kevin and I just got to St. Louis, so we're here for the contest too. Got the hotel.
Right.
Okay, where are you staying?
The Pear Tree Inn.
What room are you in?
323. What room are you in?
What did you say?
323.
You're just above me. I'm 222. You're
All right.
straight above and one over.
All
Too
right.
bad you're not right above me. I'd start beating on the ceiling. But
Yeah. He'd do it too.
Well, cool. Yeah, we just
Michael,
got
how
out.
are you?
I'm doing okay.
good. Dave? What time? There was nothing on the contest flyer about what time they're getting rolling tomorrow. What time do we need to be there?
I read something about pilots meeting at 8:30 and start flying at 9. I think.
Okay. All right.
We're probably we typically on these things we get up at 6-ish and get something to eat and head to the field, maybe get a few flights in early.
Okay.
I think what are we gonna do for breakfast, Kevin? We're gonna go to the country kitchen right around the corner here in the morning for breakfast.
Well, I'll do the continental gruel that they're going to put out here in the hotel. It'll be
Continental gruel.
If you could- okay, sounds fair.
It'll be good enough for us. As long as they got Fruit Loops or something for Sam, he'll be okay. And then I'll do the waffle thing probably. But yeah, we plan on getting the field about 7 and setting up and
Yeah.
figuring it out. It's our first time here in St. Louis for this one, so we don't know the routine at all.
I can't say that I do either. It's been at least 20 years since the last time I was here. So, I remember the park layout. But other than that, it's going to be all entirely different.
Well, we're gonna fly profile and Pampa. That's it. And then I brought the jet to play with because I know they got a speed circle here and they do jets here. And then we brought a bunch of rubber free flight stuff to play with too.
Oh, it's not a
Dave,
whole lot of room, as I recall, for that down there. But maybe if you're not too carried away with it, you can probably do that.
Dave, I
Okay.
got a question for you.
Yeah.
I met you back at the 95 Nats. You brought a young man with you. Did he?
Yeah. That was I think it had to be Ryan Morgan. He was the son of the girlfriend I had at the time.
Ah,
And that was a good kid. And he didn't stick with the hobby much, but he went into the Navy and served a pretty good stint in the Navy, and then got out and married and kids and all that. I don't talk to him much, but every once in a while I run into him. But he was a good kid. Yeah.
okay. I kind of wondered what happened to him. He seemed to be all fired up there at the Nats.
Oh, he was a fireball.
Now the question, we were talking about Steve Busso's plans a little bit ago before he got on. And I wonder how many, I'm trying to figure out how many of those plans he sent through Pampa, if you know or not.
Oh no, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I mean, we have the full file of the plans. It could be researched, I guess, but I don't know if I think all we have is just the name of the plan. I don't even think it lists the name of the designer on what we have. So you'd have to peck through each individual plans. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well, I was just curious.
46th of June. Jaguar.
Hey, Steve, thanks for coming in, Steve.
Vegas.
Yep.
What happened to John Rist? He was there and then he
About
disappeared.
5 I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to John Riss. Hopefully he'll come back.
The Vegas, I shared. Len sent me his copy. I took it down and got it scanned in full size, and I just shared it here so people could see what a good draftsman he was and what a good designer he was.
What? Something
He
happened to
still
Steve?
is. Huh?
John, did Steve pass?
No, not that.
Oh,
as far
okay.
as
I thought
know.
you said that he was. I thought.
Well,
I
I don't know if he's still in it or not. That's what I meant by was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know a 5 that he did, and I'm thinking there's a 6th one, but I can't remember what it was called. But I've got the big one, and I've got the 46 of his Zap machine. I forgot the proper name for it, but I've got 2 of those. And then he had and now I'm drawing a blank. I just thought of him a minute ago. The Jaguar, the Vegas, and well, anyway,
Yeah.
I think there's 2 more
That
at
other
least
one.
that Pampa has.
Okay, well, I was just curious if
did several.
if they were still, if they were, what was, I guess the question really was, it boils down to, is how are we going to be doing the Pampa plans in the future, or is that a thing of the past?
Oh no, it's a little bit in flux at the moment. There's a gentleman out on the West Coast who was all about trying to take that over and going to operate that enterprise for us. And so I sent all the, now we're not talking about physical plans, we're talking about PDFs. I sent him all the PDFs. He has them, and he was going to set it all up and get them on the market more or less. And I haven't heard anything about that in a while. So
Okay.
I still have all the plans. I haven't checked with him to see what happened with that. He was going to handle the plans and what little bit of merchandise we still had, which is not much. And
Yeah.
kind of got all excited about it. And no sooner we got it to him, you don't hear much from him. So Elliot something or other was his
Oh,
name.
yeah, I know who you mean.
He has plenty of plans to build from now, though.
Yeah. But at any rate, so I don't know. I need to get a hold of him to see if there's anything shaking about that. But he has some. I guess he's quite an entrepreneur about things, and he owns some bit. He has the equipment to do everything he needed right there with his own business, and he could deal with it, and it wasn't going to be any big deal. So whatever, let him do it. But we shipped it, and I haven't heard anymore.
He was a supplier of some really good balsa.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, it could have been
Same guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Ever get it straightened out, I'd still like to get a set of Usama plans.
yeah,
Call by,
I'll be honest, it's not a major issue. If you need one particular plan, I can send you the PDF, and you can just go get your own copies made.
That's
kind of the
fine.
way we run that business anyway. There's nobody to physically go run and make these plans and go to the post office and do all this. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of doing all that stuff on my days off. So
Don't blame you.
Don't blame me a
yeah.
bit. Now, if I can get the PDF, tell me where to send the check. I'm fine with that.
Problem. Just if you would, I'm out of town right now. Just drop me an email in my email file somewhere, and I'll get it off to you.
I'll get that. I'll get the email file from Mark.
That'd be fine.
Right now,
So
my
I'll
shoulder
send
is
it
bothering
to
me
you.
so bad I couldn't write it down if you told me. So I'll get it from Mark later.
All right.
Mark, if you would hang on to that for me and tell me maybe next week or something.
Yeah,
Right.
I've gone with my plans, Dave. I've gone to where I do everything in PDFs.
Right.
It's so much easier, you know, and doesn't, I mean, somebody calls it, I can that afternoon send it out in an email, you know.
Well, you know, that's just it. And, you know, it's costs got so out of hand for cost and just the time and the effort to physically go to Kinko's or someplace to get the plans made.
for
And
sure.
roll them up and buy a $5 tube to mail it. And, you know, I mean, it's just, the last time I did it for somebody, I'm pretty sure it cost me about $30 to send them a $15 plan. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gotten to where at our print shop, if you don't get 4 sets of plans, if you don't copy 4 sets of plans, you're wasting your time because it's a $15 minimum, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. You just go ahead and get it. But then you got these plans, and you, like you say, you got to buy mailing tubes and everything else. Just send them the file. They got a local Kinko somewhere. Everybody's got one.
That's exactly my
All over the
feeling
country.
about it. It just makes sense. You know, in the past, it made sense to do it the other way, but now it's just the heck with it. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not opposed to. We probably, if Elliot doesn't come through with whatever it was he was going to do, I'm not too terribly opposed to putting the list back up on the website. But there's no automated way. I'm trying to make everything as automated as possible. You know, things on the website, the memberships, this and that, so we don't have to have somebody to babysit and do all that footwork constantly. But there's no way to do that. So somebody would always, that I'm aware of, somebody's going to always have to at least answer the email and at least send out the PDFs, and that's not too major a thing. And if that's what it takes, we might get them back on the website in the future. And I'm not opposed to adding new plans either, as we can. You know, we have to see
Right.
how that works out. But it would be a different format. Somebody would again probably quietly send me a PDF of the plan, and I could just attach it, you know. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to do a long article on the website about this new design. We may or not. It'd be nice, but somebody's got to. And that's kind of the problem we have. We have a lot of good readers and not too many good writers. They can all take that as a good hint. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
kind of have this problem where everybody wants to take and nobody wants to give. So if we could get the guys to be a little more creative and get some material in, it'd all work a whole lot better for everybody.
Well, I'm trying to get some designs finished up before I build them so I can do a build and an article about it. Then we'll see about it from there. I'll probably wind up in, you know, with either staying with myself or going with Pep, whichever works out best.
So
I'm thinking about
Phil,
trying to. Yeah,
how are you gonna fly that new plane tomorrow with your arm hurt so bad?
I'm not. The lines didn't come in. The package that I was hoping was my lines turned out to be I finally got my Brotherhood of the Ring
Ringmaster
stickers.
sticker. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, you finally
I
got
finally
that.
got this, but I still haven't found the one. If y'all want some, get on www.skywardhobbies.com, and it's $13 for 6 of them, and shipping's free.
So none of your friends have a set of 67, 68 foot
None
plane?
of them have any that I would trust, and with my arm the way it is, I'd rather not do it anyway.
What happened to your arm?
I'll just wait a week. if I tell you, you're going to laugh. I initially heard it doing a wing over. I just looked up and my neck popped.
Oh, no. Okay.
So we go 6 weeks of therapy, and I thought I went 4 weeks of a 7 week stint of therapy. And I thought that my neck and it comes down my arm, radiates down my arm almost to my elbow and just hurts like crazy. But anyway, I was almost over that. So then I got this little terrorist, this little 4-legged terrorist in my house, and he saw a squirrel. I'm stopped talking to a neighbor, and he saw a squirrel, didn't make a sound, started running like a sled dog. I mean, this little sucker can scoot. And when he hit the end of the leash, my arm went just about straight up, yanked me, hurt my neck again, hurt my arm again. It didn't hurt this bad initially, but I won't be flying anything tomorrow. It's just the only thing I'm going out there for in the morning is I promised 2 of the guys one of these stickers when they came in. I'm gonna give them to them, and I'm taking my Cavalier profile out to give it to one of the guys crashed his airplane last week, and he's learning to fly, but he can't build worth a flip yet. So
you're a good man, Phil.
Hey,
well, I've got too many airplanes.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I have to.
So
what was that
I'm
source
gonna
of decals again? You said the name, but I didn't. I'm gonna write it down now.
Skyward Hobbies. Skyward Hobbies, all one word, .com.
Now, does he just make the decals just for the Brotherhood of the Rings, or does he make other decals?
I don't know what all else he does. I'm going to look on the website myself. I ordered them off eBay and did not know who made them.
Well, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. I got them. The only thing, if anybody can find the ones that go on the rudder, the 3, the triangle that has the 3 little ringmasters, I'd love to have a set of those.
Okay. I have another question for you, Phil. Now, how much does the dog weigh?
16.5 pounds.
And how much do you weigh?
Never mind, Charles.
Don't matter.
Don't go there.
Curious how this little 16-pound dog ran off and knocked you out.
Whoop my butt. Yes.
Charles is going down a bad road.
Hey, Phil, I'll give you a hint. Hold
What's
the
that?
leash. Hold the leash in your left hand.
That's what I have to do now because I can't hold it right-handed.
I'm sorry you got hurt.
Come here, Jack. Come here.
Sorry you
Jack.
got hurt, Phil. I don't.
That's all. Thank you. This is my little terrorist. This is my little terrier. He's sweet as he can be, but I'm going to tell you, when he sees a squirrel,
Where's them squirrels? Where's them squirrels?
Yeah, he's a crazy dog.
They're all crazy. Sorry.
They shot up. Excuse me just a second. They shot up in the air. They didn't shoot anybody. I heard it earlier.
Hey, Howard, thanks for coming in, Howard.
I forgot about it. Hey.
Burn my pizza.
Oh, darn.
Okay, I got a question for people that are on this Zoom thing. I didn't realize that they had an app for Zoom. So I always just click on get on with the browser.
Yeah.
And Samantha told me, she said, you won't have so many problems and all that if you get the app. So I did it. Now I get everybody's picture on one page.
Yep.
I do. Now I got the deal to where it says choose a virtual background. I got all the stuff I can do, but I didn't know they made an app, and I didn't know if anyone else knew that's having problems.
An app for Zoom.
They have an app for Zoom, and you can get it either on OSI or Google.
Well, I'll be on there trying to get it tomorrow.
And cool. Samantha said it would take care of all my, everyone is clear. I'm not getting all this staggering with talking. It's like I get one fast and one slow and stuff like that. I mean,
Canada always comes through quicker.
I've got Zoom client on my.
Yep, that's the answer. Zoom client. Yep.
Well, we'll find out about this tomorrow because that sounds good.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, Samantha's like, no one told you that they have an app for Zoom? And I'm like, no. She goes, you got Microsoft 10, so you can use apps and all that.
Good luck with that.
So
That sounds good.
yeah, so I know Carl.
Sounds like
Carl was having problems, and I don't know if he's got the app or what. But Samantha was saying the older your computer is, the slower and more stuff messes up. It isn't super fast, just doing it off the browser, but off the app, she says that no one usually has problems.
Cool.
Yeah, Steve, you're right. I did have problems, but then somehow it cleared itself out, and everybody said I'm coming better than it was a month ago.
I think the problem's back.
Big time.
I think you're right.
Big time.
Yes, it's big time, Carl.
Crash and
I
burn.
forgot. I'm sorry.
Nod your head, Carl. Are you on the app?
I'm not sure. I have to go ask the expert, which is my wife. So,
We don't know what you
here's
said. I don't know what you
go
said.
working perfect. Now you tell me not working now, so I don't know what. Okay, all right.
Sorry
Guys,
about.
someone check out. We're going to bed. I get up every once in a while and stop around on the floor and keep Mike awake downstairs.
All
So
right.
we'll see y'all later.
Yep.
Hey,
All right.
thanks for coming in, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Talk to
Take
you
it
tomorrow.
easy, Dave.
Easy, Dave.
See y'all
Hey,
later.
y'all
Don't be
Have a
careful.
good time at a contest tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck.
Hey, I wanted to ask while we got some of the Brodak crew here, some of the guys that go out to Brodak. I've been carrying on a side conversation with Lonky there, but wanted to open up to others. Obviously, all I fly is electric. That's all I really know. I don't know the combustion side of things, but I know that Angstrom he would absolutely love to do Junkyard Wars next year at Brodak's, but all I know is electric. So do you think there's any chance they would consider opening that up to an electric setup? Because right now, the rules I've seen in the past have all been combustion engines. So I'll just throw that out there and just kind of
Just put him in with Banjock. He does all the kids every year.
Does anybody have any answer for
I
Brendan?
don't think they're going to let him do electric. That's why I said put him in with Banjock. He has everything.
Yeah.
I think, he'll have the most fun if he goes in with Banjock anyhow.
Yeah.
It's blasphemy to put an electric engine on a junkyard war airplane.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, if they say you can do it, do it. But I think there'll be a lot of pushback from other people, the
Hey,
purists.
Dennis, you're muted. By the way.
Yeah. I tend to
Oh,
agree
muted?
with you, Mike.
So
You're
not
muted,
Mike.
Dennis.
Unmute Dennis.
Unmute that boy.
Unmute John.
I can't unmute anybody, just by the way.
Okay, I was just gonna say, Mike talking about blasphemy, he put a pen bladder on a Junkyard Wars airplane.
Yeah, that's
says-
right.
Says any fuel system, so it was within the rules. It said any fuel system, so
Well, it worked perfect. I think that's what everybody was jealous of, so.
yeah. But I mean, electric definitely has the best distinct advantage over out there whacking on a Fox 35 or, you know, because guys don't typically put their best motors out there, you know. So that's
My concern with electric would be just the fact that you gotta tie stuff down on those things. And the airplanes aren't necessarily the most sound things in the world and everything.
Yeah, a lot of them don't fly.
yeah.
Boy, I don't know. I'd worry about exposing a battery, crashing, and having
Well,
that-
and then how do you determine the size of what's a legal electric motor for junkyard wars? You know, that's
You
why
have
they
to
didn't
buy one
allow
that says 35 equivalent.
35. Yeah, well, that's why they didn't allow electrics in the half A event, because there's no way to fairly put a motor size on, what equates to an 049 or an 051. So they kept that event strictly IC because we didn't want electric screwing that up. You know, part
Yeah,
of
because
the
nothing else would have won if you'd have put electric in there.
well,
Well, that's not necessarily true.
It's not necessarily
nothing
true,
else.
but,
Nothing else would have won.
How do you
but
know that? You
it
have
shouldn't
no proof
just
of
be,
that.
it
No
shouldn't
proof.
just be a flying event with, you know, where you can come in with a half A with an electric motor and fly the heck out of it. It should be, you're a good half A mechanic. You can get a half A to run in a stunt plane. You can figure out how to set one up to run for stunt. That's part of being the best and winning, you know. I mean, to me anyway, electric's too easy. It's takes away the hard work in those events, in half A for sure. And then, you know, I don't really care if it happens in Junkyard Wars. I don't think it would be successful anyway. Just for the reasons Dennis cited, you know, having to.
Well, you'd have to worry about battery weight and everything. I'm not sure an electric system would be as light as a glow system.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but I think it would fly better just for the reason as when you don't have wings and everything vibrate, bouncing around, affecting the engine run.
Yeah.
You know,
Of
you
course,
can do all you wanted to an electric, and it ain't gonna mess up the engine run.
Let's see, Team Canada is still here. When you leave the mountie off the wing, you carry a battery. But,
yeah.
Like I was telling you, Brendan, it doesn't hurt to ask. You know, Tim Stagg is the event director for that. Send emails to him and to Will and Mark. They're the contest directors, and see
That's
what
it.
they're ultimately. They're the ones that write the rules for the event. So all they can do is say no. It won't hurt to ask. You know.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in it right now that will allow it, but you know, and you know, if Tim is the ED, that means you got somebody you could ask now and not wait till the last minute or anything like that. So, but really, what they're saying too about just have them join up with another team or something like that. There's usually, I think, those teams are usually pretty fluid, and you probably join on the fly and everything like that, and you'd probably have a good time with it. So.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All I know is that Samantha had a half A clown with a 049 on it, and we did one in electric. You could fly the whole pattern on that clown in electric.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it was that great. I mean, you want to make a half A plane fly really well, make it electric. You can go out there and fly it on short lines, and it'll fly great.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, what, you get it all in?
Uh-oh.
Let me click on you, Mark. Hang on. Let me pin you to the screen here. There we go.
Got room for a battery.
Look at that.
Very nice. That looks good.
It all went in very well. That back corner is kind of hard to see is the castle link, the wireless link.
Cool.
Little black box there. And of course the KR timer up there. And I just got to put my Velcro strips in and yeah.
What's a castle link?
It's where you hook to your phone for your ESC programming. It's a little wireless link.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they made such a thing.
Yeah, I guess it come out, I don't know, last year or something, you know, and downloaded it and it seemed to work pretty good. They even, I got lucky. They even published a file for the Talon 35, the Castle Link Talon 35 on how to set it up. Yeah. So that was very good. Yeah. And everything did fit just great through the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Very nice.
You got air that'll go through it. So that's what you need.
I'll open up I think like Dennis was saying to somebody last week, I'm going to open up that one and possibly that one. I guess it can't hurt to have more air exiting, right?
No, and you don't have to worry about slime getting in there, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it all came in good.
So
and it come out like you were saying, Steve. It come out at 43 ounces with the batteries. So.
Wow, that's good.
I'm telling you, you wait till you see how it flies. It's gonna be incredible. The other thing is that did you like Velcro your timer in so you can pull it out?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And put the little bullet connector like you were talking about on the timer to the ESC.
Right. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good. The only thing I screwed up was my props. When I ordered props, I thought I had ordered like 10.4 through 10.6 something. Yeah. And I guess when I opened the package, they're all 11.6 props. So
They'll
they either
work.
sent me the wrong one.
If they're 11.6s, that's what I fly. Or I don't fly it, but that's what's on my planes.
Right.
I don't see any problem with that. Worst case, if you think
You
it's
can cut it down.
literally clip it to 10" or 10.5 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Any more sleep over it than that. So
Well, the one thing is like you said, you're not going to be flying 6-minute flights.
No.
So, I mean, you'll be able to see kind of how much battery you use in 3 minutes, you know, and then you can see what you would use in a 6-minute. And to get 6 minutes, you may have to go with, a little different prop. What prop is that? A Zinger?
It is a Aerostar.
Oh, okay. Is that an electric?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Them Aerostars for IC are really good props. I haven't tried one of the electrics, but I know that that's what everybody's flying around here on their stalkers.
Yeah. So
and we do have one stalker on a Pathfinder, John.
Oh, what size?
I wanted to make you some money tonight. You haven't been saying anything.
I haven't heard any yet. I think that's the first
one.
Yeah, I know.
No, I said Pathfinder LE.
I'm trying to get everybody in on this. We got Aerostar, and we got the Vector, and we'll just sell everything on here tonight.
Well, we had a nice picture of a Pathfinder twin down a little there, blue with a red tail and white and black checkerboards on it, sitting in the midst of a big pile of balsa wood.
Hey, John, regarding that, Microgel says, yes, I want to make the Mobest first regarding that stack of balsa wood. And he also said that I guess what he spent was just over $1,000.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
He got a good deal.
Hey,
That's
Mark,
all contest grade. He really got a good deal.
Did you find the weight box?
I that's what I was just looking for. That was my next question, Dennis. What do you think for tip weight to start out with?
You put it around about 1 ounce.
Yeah, the tip box is pretty hard to see, but
you got to press on it and kind of find a little indent.
Yeah.
But I had one hell of a time trying to cut it out because there's no space in that fitting. I don't know who fits them in there, but they only go in one way, and that's for sure.
Right.
Someone sits there and sands them to fit before they put them in.
That's about the only thing I got left is put the tip weight in and see what happens.
Beauty.
Hey, Mark,
43 ounces with the battery. That is light.
That's a good weight. That's a good weight.
Yeah, I was
43 ounce vectors will do just fine. Thank you.
Mark, that wireless device, will it work with Androids or only iPhone?
No, I believe it's Android also.
And how much was that? How much was that wireless thing for the ESC?
I think if I recall, I think it's about $40. Yeah, I mean, but by the time you get other programmers and things like that, I mean, you're going to spend the same. Since I didn't have anything in the beginning, it worked out pretty good. Yeah. And the KR timer has the little the wire connector that's just a push button to change it. So yeah.
All I have is a KR timer, but I didn't even think about a programmer for my SV11 that I'm going to build.
You got a program? You got the programmer for the KR timer?
I don't know if I do. I know I have the KR timer, but I don't know if I have the programmer.
It looks like a little stick.
Yeah. I got to make sure I don't step on the airplane that I just finished. So.
That would not be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there, Charles. If you see something like that in your bag,
seen that. Yeah.
You have seen it. You have one then.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and on the you can look it up on the website. He's got a really good tutorial on setting your RPMs, your timer, your flight time and stuff like that. And like I said, I got kind of lucky that I did find an article in that same tutorial. They talked about think of the right words here, a complicated ESC. Originally the KR timer, they said that he designed it for a real simplistic ESC, so that the governor and the timer, the governor function for the timer uses the governor function of the timer. The only thing that had to do with the ESCs that are more things, I guess I can't get the right words out, is you have to dummy down the governor function. And so far it looks like you just select in the ESC settings on the phone, you select airplane, then you go through the file, at least for this Talon 35. You go through the file and they'll tell you how to set your all of your different motor functions and your things like that, so it will work with the Castle Talon 35. And so far I done a little test run a while ago. I got it set for like a 2-minute flight, just to get it off the ground and see what it does. Yeah. And it looks like, at least what I see, it looks like about 8,000 or 9,000 RPM. Yeah. And then what the governor function does is as long as you don't set your RPM to like the maximum, they describe it as similar to a 2-4 brake, as when the prop loads up, if you have your RPM set at a lower RPM, when the prop loads up, it will increase the RPM up to near the maximum that's set.
Yeah,
so that'll be
there's a
interesting.
setting in that, what, 1 through 6 or 1 through 7 or something.
Yeah, 1
That
through
you
6.
pick how much it picks up.
Yeah, and I think they suggested in the beginning of like setting it like 5 or something like that, 4 or 5, if you're flying stunt. Yeah. So you do have that advantage of that particular timer, of it actually adding RPM instead of just maintaining an RPM. Right. And I could be wrong on that, because all of this is new to me. This is just learning stuff for me. So,
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a misnomer. It doesn't, I don't think it really changes the speed of the motor. What it does is, to maintain the speed of the motor, it has to advance the throttle setting. But advanced,
okay, that makes sense.
Does not absolutely mean the RPM is increasing.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
Under load, the prop wants to slow down, it adds throttle, so it'll keep up. All right.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess that does make sense on their statement of you have to have some I guess throttle left, so to speak.
Yeah. And then the it doesn't behave like an active timer does, which really does take the attitude of the airplane, and it will consciously change the RPM setting. All right, it'll add 200 RPM or something like that. All right, or program it to do it, but that's not exactly how it behaves. And then the sensitivity setting is whenever the airplane is perturbed, it takes that as a sign. Oh, the throttle. We're going to have to activate the throttle to to maintain the settings and stuff like that. But the trouble is, the more sensitive you make it, it starts getting you start getting like a buzzing sound and stuff like that, because it's responding so fast and everything like that it's basically all noise. So, but you'll see what I mean. And all it really accomplishes is it uses a ton of battery doing that.
I think we ended up having ours set around 2 or 3.
I think I had mine set at 3, maybe 4. I think
you don't need you'll notice you don't need much.
Yeah, you don't really need much. So if you fly in like a turbulent site or something like that, the higher setting will just drive you crazy. But
yeah, well, like I said, this is kind of my first, one of my first airplane builds, and plus the electric. So I think it seemed like a good starting place,
You'll like it. I mean, when the KR timer first came out, you had cheap ESCs and really expensive ones. Now you got ESCs that will do about what the real expensive ones did back in the day for $29, But that was kind of the thing back then. But now you got to turn all that stuff off because you don't need it. But everything comes with it just about nowadays.
yeah, as I understand it, Keith Renical went to a world championships and ended up burning up 2 or 3 systems, ESCs, very expensive ESCs and stuff like that. And came home very frustrated with the experience, and set out to design the timer with the feedback circuit directly to the timer. That's what that extra wire is. And so he wanted to not sacrifice the ESC, but he also put in his feedback logic, he has something in there that if it senses that the motor isn't coming up to speed, it will actually shut it down. And his feeling on that was he had destroyed his expensive systems by basically nosing over in the grass, right? And if you do that with a KR timer, it senses that the motor is slowing down and it's not keeping up. It'll actually turn off the motors before it burns up.
Right.
So it makes it's a nice little feature there, but it was built, that was on practicality and bad experiences. So.
Right. Well, thank goodness that somebody else did that for us. So.
That's it.
Yeah.
No,
What are you doing, Howard?
I'm under a desk here, hooking up computers. Got to do computer.
Oh, gee. So much fun.
I thought you were practicing for the new Clover.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I can cover.
Hey, Howard, you think you can plug any more things into one outlet?
I'll see.
Oh, you still got holes.
Yeah, we can add. You can get them now where you can add on and add on. Have like 12 different things plugged into one outlet. But,
and hope nothing shorts out.
Just as long as they aren't high amperage drawing things you got plugged in.
yeah, I don't think, I don't know how many amps a normal computer takes or whatever, but I don't think it's that many. And I know a lot of stuff doesn't take a lot of power.
Yeah, but having a lot of stuff takes a lot of power.
Huh?
Having a lot of stuff takes a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of money.
Talking about power and electricity and that, just as a little aside here, my other hobby's amateur radio. And I traded in some stuff and I got me a new radio, and I had to have a power supply that was able to do 30 amps intermittently, not full time. Needed to be able to do like 27 continuous. And the last one I had like that was, son of a gun, they had a transformer in it. The box is this big, this tall, this long. and weighed like 60, 70 pounds. Here's a 30 amp switching transformer.
Yeah, things have gotten drastically smaller. My dad used to have the ginormous stuff.
Yeah, it's things have changed. Things are getting smaller and smaller all along, and the switching is so they've got it working so much better than it used to. It used to be it was noisy. You could hear a buzz every time it switched. From going from AC to DC. Now they're absolutely quiet. You can't hear them anywhere in a radio circuit. So yeah, things are. I'm glad they're changing, because if we all sat still, we'd still be sending Morse code.
Yep. Those that can do Morse code.
Yeah. I found out that Mike Griffin down in Louisiana, when he's in the Air Force, he was a Morse code intercept officer. And that's what he did all day long, was sit there, listen to and take Morse code.
Oh, geez, that'd get old.
That'd be a hell of a job, having to climb up on a damn telephone pole and hook in and sit there all day listening to Morse code.
Yeah, well, my dad in World War II did Morse code. He was a radioman, but he did it. He called with what they called a mill, which is a typewriter, and they could do 40, 45 words a minute using a typewriter. At least he could.
How did that work with a whiteout key?
Well, the whiteout key was different in those days.
Oh, okay.
It was called a blackout key. What with secret stuff and all that, they always had to black it out,
Yeah. But I mean, just trying to type, and all the errors you're making typing. And you can see it when you type and like, oh, shoot, I got to go back and white that out. But if you're sending Morse code from a keyboard and you're just typing, hell, if you hit the wrong key, you wouldn't even know it. These other people be going like, what the hell word was that?
And it got even worse than that, Steve.
Oh, you got to long here.
If it was coming, I know, here comes the airplane. If it was coming in code and the code was encoded, if you missed a number, you might miss the main message. And we'll shut up about Morse code, even though.
All right, come on, Charles, and you start talking about airplane stuff. We've been waiting, and we're getting bored. So come on, whatever you got to contribute, we're listening.
Well, I went flying today, and with Carl and Stuart and with Joe Mata, we had a good flying day. We had some beautiful weather, and the Strega is flying better, but I'm still it gets loose in places that are kind of disconcerting. And so I'm still figuring out, but I am making progress. The plane is actually improving. I think the last thing I did in our after party, sometimes I say the after party is even better than the live stream. Well, during the after party, Steve McBride, he asked me about my engine offset, and we measured it. I think it was like a 1/4 inch offset, I think. That's what I determined. And then I also mentioned that I had rudder offset, and he said, oh, you need to get rid of that rudder offset. So I got rid of the rudder offset, and when I went out flying, I guess that must have been yesterday, I did a loop, and when I came back down, it was like uneventful. I was like, whoa, that was weird. I mean, it's kind of weird to have the plane fly good.
So where are you losing tension?
Today, when I was doing some outside loops, it got loose when I was coming back down. It got loose a little bit. And so I thought, well, maybe I have too much rake in the lead outs. Maybe I have the lead outs too far back. So then I moved the lead outs about 1/8 of an inch forward. And then the plane even got worse. It flew worse. And I was like, well, that was the wrong move. So then I put it back, and then I took out a 1/4 ounce. On my last flight, I took out a 1/4 ounce of wingtip weight, and then it flew better. And so still trying to figure this thing out. But overall, the plane flies better. I mean, the turns, the rounds are much more rounder. They don't grow. You know, when I used to fly the plane, then my maneuvers were so big because they were just growing because the plane was so nose heavy. That's in the past, but it has some peculiar behavior that's kind of actually disconcerting. I don't really trust it yet. I'm working on it.
Is the problem only in the outsides?
No, well, trying to remember.
I know what you're going to say, Howard.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I did a lot more insides than outsides.
So what if it is on just the outsides? What's the problem, Howard?
Well, then we'd talk about what else it could be. It could be an asymmetry in the wing, or could be a flapped elevator issue.
It also.
I didn't get the last part about the flap. Say.
It could also. Go ahead.
The push rod length between the elevator and the flap, essentially.
Okay.
But the other questions could be asked, but you haven't done very many outsides.
No, because it you know, I wasn't sure if I was flying in turbulent air today. You know, I asked the other guys and they couldn't. I mean, it was windy, but not so windy, but it was just the plane flew like it was flying in turbulent air.
Oh, it could have been that. If you only did a few, you don't have a good statistical sample of insides versus outsides.
Well, Samantha complained the last time she flew that vector that on her squares on the outside from the top when she turns, that she was losing tension. And she said it was a little disconcerting. And,
what are you doing, John? Are you waving goodbye? Okay.
All right. Make sure I'm seen.
You know, we thought, and I found I made a mistake in the programming of the ESC that I was letting, and we haven't flown it since, that I was letting low RPM go all the way down to 2000. And it said to set it at 7. So I didn't know if it was just when she was doing that real sharp corner, that thing was killing power and it upset the airplane. And because she said she'd lose it, then it would come back. But she's seen it on just that outside corner. So
one of the things that happens when you turn, when you go inside, the precession factor on one of the precession factors, there's actually a couple of them, but one of them, as your plane rotates around on the inside, the factor is 90% out, 90 degrees out of phase. So what happens is you go up, it tends to want to give you more line tension. It yaws the nose out.
Okay.
Opposite thing happens when you could do an outside. It yaws the nose in.
Okay.
And that sounds what you're describing.
Yeah.
Because you fly a short distance and it'll come back. You get your tension back. But for a moment there, you're hurting for tension. So there's the best invention for that is known as a Raby rudder.
Yeah,
doesn't have to do a lot, but it will counter that type of precession.
Okay, and the plane does have a Raby rudder. I just taken it off, I guess last year or 2 years ago, but I did like it when I had it. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I did like the Raby rudder when I had it.
Yeah, not everybody's a fan of it.
Yeah, I actually liked it. I just I don't remember exactly why I took it off. I think I was trying.
It was flying too good. The damn this thing flies great. I think I need to try something else.
Well, you know what? I do a lot of experimentation, and reason why is I want to find out what things do. So it might have, I don't know, but the guy that I was flying with at that time, he just did not like it, and I just kept hearing him saying, you know, those things aren't good. You don't need a ribby rudder. I just kept hearing it all the time. You don't need a ribby rudder. No one's using ribby rudder. All the big guys, you know, the Dave Fitzgeralds and Paul Walkers and everybody else, they're not using the ribby rudder. Why do you have a ribby rudder? You know,
You're flying a design.
Use it.
That's based on a design that is like 20, 25, 30 years old. Okay. And they're flying designs that are based on 10, 5, last year, whatever, you know. And there's a lot that's been learned about building and designing and all that, more than I'll ever know. But some of these guys are real good at it, and they don't need a rave rudder. You know,
I think what you're saying. I think I might hook it back up. It wouldn't be a pain for me to hook it back up. I just got to unsnap it. I just put a hard point on the side of the fuselage below the stab and elevator, and I just.
Well, what would it hurt to try it?
Yeah, yeah, and I just make it so that it's not too much of a kick out. I found that I had mine was kicking out a little bit too much, but
yeah, you don't need much.
Yeah, so I will try that because it is getting kind of loose in precarious areas, and it's like you mentioned on the outside when I'm coming back down, the plane did that right like around looking at a clock, you know, like around 9 o'clock, you know, it got loose right there going down, which is kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it works, then take it off because you want to keep trimming on that thing for the next 10 years.
I know. Hey, but you know what? I like the suggestion. I will hook it back up. I remember I told Dennis Adamson, probably 6 or so months ago that I really did like the ribby rudder, and I had it. So, yeah.
I got a question for you guys. I told Charles I was going to ask this. All right. So you bring your lines back, you know, and that kicks out the nose of the airplane, flies at an angle. Why not just move the fuselage on the wing at a certain, like a 2-degree angle? So the wings
look funny.
So the wings would fly straight around with you, and just the fuselage instead of kicking a wing back and making a wing fly through the air like it doesn't want to.
Think about it.
So Charles, when I flew real airplanes, you know, if we had to, you know, really lose airspeed, you know, we just crank in rudder and elevator, just slip that damn airplane down. They don't like to fly like sideways.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It'd look funny, but it's something that you ought to try.
Well,
I wondered why has anyone known if anyone's tried it? Does it work or doesn't work?
Some of the articles I've read have stated how really important it is to build that airplane properly aligned, because you know, if you get it properly aligned, you have less problems trimming it out later. So
I'd go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering how to do it easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wondered, you know, it'd probably be easier to try with a profile. You have a lot more room to move stuff.
Yeah, it'd still be hard to make it adjustable.
Yeah.
I mean, we're flying in a circle, so it makes sense that we just tilt the fuselage out just a hair, because we're not flying straight.
Yeah, it's asymmetric, so heck.
I don't know.
Why is straight ahead they?
You guys check to make sure one leg isn't a little longer than the other right now.
All I can say is that
it's great for walking on the side of a hill. Though.
You got one wingtip, you know, really hitting, the air in a forward, and then you got another wingtip coming through the air in a reverse deal. And it's like, if that works so good, why don't you do propellers that way? Have one that rakes one side rake forward, one side rake back. I mean, that should really work good on that airfoil.
I'll be right back.
But I don't know.
You're awful
That was
quiet.
just something I was wondering, because I know that, if you want to dirty up an airplane and not make it fly well, slip it.
Yeah. That does something else, but or does it? That's a good experiment to do, I think.
I may try that on an airplane. And then if it lasts, it would prove itself if it lasts more than 3 or 4 flights. Say I got 10 out of it. I'm like, damn, this airplane flies a lot better.
So what do you think, Mark and Denny? What do you think about that notion of just kicking the fuselage out just a little bit?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about how I fly with no engine offset, but I'm going to fix that by offsetting the entire fuselage. So,
well, and that's what I was thinking. I know no one flies with engine offset, so they offset the whole airplane.
I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is that whatever target you're aiming for, go for it and everything like that. I think you can accomplish the same thing by cranking the motor out, cranking the fin out.
Well,
you don't need any rudder offset, and a lot of folks, not universally, say, gee, you really don't need that much motor offset, if any. It's not what causes flying tension anyway. But so I guess I don't know why we want to crank the whole fuselage off if neither one of them works by itself.
Well, it does change a lot of variables, but one thing that I think that might have more of an effect than people give it credit for is the product of inertia. Having masses not aligned with the direction the fuselage points. I suspect that some of these electric stunt planes benefit from aft lead up position just to move the mass in the nose to the right and the mass in the tail to the left. Similarly, on FAI combat planes, I think they go around pointed toward the inside of the circle just to get the bladder closer to the axis. I'm not saying this very well, but
for the fuel delivery on that.
No, not fuel delivery. Just when you turn a corner, the effect of the having the rotating the thing about an axis that's not the principal axis, not a principal axis.
Okay. See, now we know how Howard worked at Boeing. He laid under his desk and he'd have all these epiphanies.
Well, yeah, I hid there from
Whatever it
time
takes,
to
man.
Now he can't get up. That's the problem, Howard.
Yeah, don't get up too fast, Howard. We don't want you to fall.
Okay.
Steve, when you were talking about slipping an airplane, you're talking about cross controlling, right? Aileron and rudder?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a little different than
it's different
than what you can do with control line.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, you got that whole side of the airplane just whacking in the air. I know that you get drag out of your control surfaces also, but you damn sure can drop a lot of altitude quick slipping an airplane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the slip, you're using two control surfaces because you're not just yawing. In a control line situation, I think what you're saying is you would be trying to adjust the yaw only. A slip is what takes aileron also to counteract the rudder input to keep the wing level, or like a forward slip. Yeah.
I see the plug. Where's that?
Oh,
There he is. I'm just kind of wondering, it's like,
I wonder if it would affect the outboard stabilizer and elevator, though, if you got too much of the airfoil. I don't know if that would be the same as the lead outs being far back or not, but it seems like at some point, if you went too far, there would be a point where your airflow over the fuselage, that's part of the aerodynamics, would be interrupted over that right stabilizer or elevator. Just a thought.
yeah.
well, that's what I kind of thought with us, everyone's moving the lead outs way back now. And you can watch them airplanes.
Which essentially,
out. How much is that disrupting the air going over the wing and the elevator? Paul Walker and all them.
Yeah, I guess.
Bob Hunt was doing it, and they were moving them lead outs just ton back. And it seems like that would affect airfoils and stuff going through the air, the angle, plus blocking air going across them.
Yep. Look up rolling moment due to side slip.
See how
bad.
Look up what, Howard? Rolling what?
Rolling moment due to side slip. CL beta.
But no, I was just wondering, it's like, I know we got rid of, putting the motor out, stuff like that. But I didn't know if that was part of the reason is that it helps on insides, but it hurts on outsides, and all that. I was just kind of, just wondering if anyone's ever tried it or heard of anybody ever trying it.
I think I'm going to call it a night, guys.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in, Mike. We're going to be going into the after party very shortly, in 8 minutes. I'm going to end the live stream, but thanks for coming in.
I think
Talk
I'm
to you Monday.
Before that too. I've got soccer tournaments tomorrow. So
Wow.
All right, Grandpa, you got to.
I hope you do well and get a couple goals there, Dennis.
hey, so far my contribution is I got my 5-year-old granddaughter. I've taught her to do a cartwheel whenever there's a goal.
Very cool.
The bad news is that she's doing it even when the other team scores.
Yeah.
Now, did you actually do the cartwheel to teach her?
It's a process, right? So yeah, so we'll get it under control yet. So
I was at a contest years ago, and my kids were little, and they were cheering me on. And another competitor goes, "Hey, that's not fair. You should, and your kids are cheering you on. What about me?" And I said, well, "Okay, well, my kids can cheer you on too." So my kids started cheering him on. And he beat me.
oh man, that's cold.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis, before your son doing okay?
He's doing better. Yeah, much better.
Good deal.
Good. That's good to hear.
Good to hear.
All righty. So,
all right, take care. Thanks for coming in, Denny. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
I presume what's happening is that when you skew the fuselage, you're getting that inertial effect. But then if you get this rolling moment due to side slip on the wing, because your wing's going to the air askew. So if you move the wing, rotate the wing back to the left, and the wing will be going more head on, and that there's still some bad stuff happening with the fuselage. Maybe it'd be easier just to put the battery off to the right side of the fuselage.
Oh, okay.
You get the same effect, but without the bother moving the tail and other stuff that could be detrimental.
Being retired, I have a lot of time to think, and I thought, why are we moving lead outs back so far? We could just offset the whole fuselage out.
Yeah.
Make that thing fly sideways through the air.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Good thing for me to waste my time on, huh?
Well, it might not be a waste of time. If it makes it fly better, then we'll go through a period of wondering why.
And we'll call it the Steve Hines fuselage.
Yeah.
In the future, it'll be the Steve
And I'll
Hines.
tell her if it works. I'll tell everybody it only works if you got doodads on your elevator. So,
well, yeah, that's another variable, isn't it? Yeah, you can tell them that. Where'd you get this term doodad from? Is this my
Yeah, I think it's your VGs you're talking about.
like propagating this?
no, the thing on the tail, you know, that
Yeah,
I call it a
understand,
doodad. That's what you called it one night.
Yes. I was wondering if you got that from me because
Yeah, I did. So I figured that once if I
not
used the correct
articulate enough to
jargon,
come up with a better name.
you would know
doodad is that
exactly
thing
what I
that-
was talking about, Howard.
The doodads
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that Bob Hunt talked about.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the doodad. Okay.
them are doodads. You got VGs and doodads. So you got two. You got to keep them separate.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm straight. Now I got it. One is different. Okay. I got it.
Chris Cox, who started this fashion of elevator doodads recently, called me today, asked me a question, and then Dave Fitzgerald called him on the other line while the call waiting, and he said, "I'm going to go talk to Dave because I tried calling him earlier. He was my first choice to whom to ask the question, and you were the second choice. So I'll go talk to Dave. I'll call you back." And he never did call me back.
I guess you want to take his call next time he calls, huh?
He has a room here at the house, and I told him I was going to put more to encourage him to come. I was going to put more Canadian content in the bathroom reading rack.
Did he like that idea?
No,
No.
I'll put model aviation there. Oh, Len's there, although Len's asleep. The reason he asked was, the question he asked was, does AMA insurance apply when you're flying in another country? He is working on this whole reciprocity thing between AMA and MAC.
That's a
I
good
don't
question.
know. We went to the World Championships and I guess they accepted our insurance. We had to show a AMA card and stuff. We didn't have to buy any other insurance or anything.
I think you have to wake up Lynn.
Yeah.
He'll wake up about an hour into the after party.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know how. Have you ever had to buy insurance in another country?
I don't know.
Well, Lynn said at one time that Canada was not accepting AMA.
Yeah. That's
if you fly in
I did
Canada.
hear him say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something new.
But AMA accepts Canadians if they fly
Yeah.
in the US.
For now. Yeah.
I mean, has anybody ever been at a contest or anything where you've seen an accident where AMA had to pay out?
Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I never have. You know, I never seen any. A long time ago, it just at the club, a guy flew his airplane into a guy's car and broke the windshield. You know, but I don't think even AMA paid for that. It was the guy's car insurance paid for it. But you know, so I don't know.
I forget what the deal is. I had a combat plane hit a Volkswagen once, and we had to chase down the Volkswagen and tell them that there's a hole in the front of your car there, you can't see it. You know? I think I paid for that myself.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I've
Always
never,
personal experience.
I've heard of these bad accidents, but I've never seen, you know, I know we got to have insurance just in case, but I mean, to charge somebody extra for insurance that 1 in a million shot, it's going to be needed. Oh shit! Now Lynn's got a pillow. It looks like behind his head.
Yeah.
I thought he's gonna wake up.
He did. He adjusted his pillow and went back to sleep.
That clock hypnotized him, I think.
I think he's in deep thought about turning the fuselage on the wing a little bit.
Yeah, well, that could be true.
He's pondering that. But
yeah, he's in deep thought. Well, you guys, we're gonna end the live stream, but just for the audience to know, we're not gonna stop. We just gonna stop the live stream. Tonight we had a very good show. I enjoyed our time together. We had at the height of the show, I think we had 20 viewers. We're at 17 likes, and we had some help and contributions in the chat box. We had a good show. So we'll be back next Monday. So go out there this weekend, hopefully, and have some fun. Tell us all about it. Come back and maybe do a show and tell. We would appreciate that. So we will see you back here next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. We will see you then. Bye. There we go. Let me end it here.